Welcome to this video in which we discuss Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which is fundamental to consumer behavior, and that's something that shaped the world. Lots of businesses, big time, in trying to really understand more deeply consumers' needs, wants, desires, their motivations. What drives consumer behavior? I would like to introduce you to the Maslow's hierarchy of needs and discuss this in greater detail. And a lot of the discussion is actually based on a wonderful BBC article that they have published, and they talk about the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So this is a theory of human motivation which was introduced in 1943. So now I'm recording this video, it's 2023, so 80 years ago. Right, so the psychologist Abraham Maslow introduced a theory which is known as Maslow's theory of human motivation. And this theory, although it was introduced 80 years ago, it continues to have a really strong influence on the world of business. In 1943, the US psychologist Abraham Maslow published a paper called A Theory of Human Motivation. What motivates human? In which he said that people actually have 5 different sets of needs which come in a particular order. And as each level of needs is satisfied, then the desire to fulfill the next need kicks in. Now, firstly, our first need would be more basic need that you can refer to as physiological needs. And they are the basic needs that center more about bodily functioning. Which would be fulfilled by us eating, drinking, going to toilet, having sleep, and so forth. And even the need for sex would be seen as the physiological need. Maslow also included a couple of other bits, as you can see here. And the second need will be the desire for safety and security in the knowledge that those basic needs will be fulfilled in the future too. So it's security of our body, employment of resources, morality, family, health, and property. The third one would be called love or belonging, which is need to love or for love, friendship, and company, intimacy as well. The fourth one is all about esteem, or in other words, social recognition, status, and respect. Respect of others, respect by others. And the last stage, or the final stage, represented by the graphic, is called self-actualization stage. And this is the topmost tip of the triangle, if you like, and it includes lots of other things seen on the higher levels, such as morality, creativity, spontaneity, problem solving, lack of prejudice, acceptance of facts, and so forth. So it is really all about fulfillment or satisfaction of satisfying all those needs, doing the thing that you were put on the planet to do, perhaps. For example, a musician must make music, an artist must paint, a poet must write. If they were to be absolutely happy, as Maslow said, what a man can be, he must be. It's important to know, whilst you may see Maslow's hierarchy of needs presented today in a pyramid, there were no pyramids or triangles in the original paper. Maslow's hierarchy of needs is now usually illustrated as such. It's like a symbol. And although the paper was written as pure psychology, it has found its main application in management theory. Managers today use Maslow's hierarchy in order to identify the needs, wants, desires the staff members and also help them feel fulfilled, whether it's by giving them additional project, reward in any way, a fancy job title, for example, or flexible working arrangements, so they can pursue their interests outside of the workplace and they can feel happy in the workplace. According to Douglas Kendrick at Arizona State University, the appeal of Maslow's hierarchy can be explained by the fact that it really reflects a pattern of growth that we observe in children. And he really made some interesting comments around this, saying, he said, I have a child who is 6 years old, and I noticed that when he was an infant, he couldn't care less about public opinion. It's just not something we care about. We can do anything. And you can see children going easily, and like if we need to do a little fart, they will do it. And that's fine. Or they do whatever they want. In kindergarten, Kendrick continues, in kindergarten, he started to worry about making friends, but he really didn't care about getting respect from those people at all. And now he's in the first grade, and you can see he's becoming to think about his friends' opinions and what status they hold him in. Be interesting to listen to what he would say now, to add now as the children grow bigger. However, there is some criticism to that model as well. In fact, there are dozens of different facts to critique Maslow's pyramid for. For example, some would say, what about the mountaineer who disregards safety in his determination to reach the summit? So kind of it muddies things slightly. Maslow said that for some people, needs may appear in a different order or be absent altogether. So Maslow didn't really ever say that's the precise kind of like process or steps we need to follow. Only when we satisfy one, we can satisfy another. No, he pointed that needs may appear in a different order or be absent altogether. And that's true. If someone who is hiking or climbing the mountains, they might disregard the safety in order to achieve that self-actualization need. Moreover, people felt a mix of needs from different levels at any one time, but they varied in degree. There are some other problems with Maslow's work. Maslow offered no empirical evidence for his theory, so it's theory rather than like empirically tested model or so forth. However, after Maslow's death in 1970, researchers undertook a more detailed investigation with attitude-based surveys and field studies testing out the hierarchy of needs. And one of the researchers says, when you analyze them, the 5 needs just don't drop out. The actual structure of motivation doesn't fit the theory, and that led to a lot of discussion and debate, and then new theories emerged as a result of this. For example, in 1972, Clayton Alderfer weighted Maslow's 5 groups of needs down to 3 and labeled them simply existence, relatedness, and growth. So the needs related to our existence, related to relatedness to the others, and growth, perhaps more internal growth. Although elements of the hierarchy remain, this theory, which was then labeled or coined as ERG theory, held that human beings need to be satisfied in all 3 areas. And if that's not possible, then the energies are redoubled in a lower category. So for example, if it's impossible to get a promotion, an employee might talk more to colleagues and get more out of the social side of work. So it's like kind of compensation mechanism. And there were, obviously, as you can imagine, more sophisticated theories that followed Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So the point here is that the absence of like that more foundational or solid evidence has damaged Maslow's status within psychology, perhaps. But as a result, Lachman, for example, says, people miss seeing that he was responsible for a major shift of focus within the discipline. And and interestingly, you can see here on the right, a recent internet meme is evidence of Maslow's enduring hold on popular culture. So you can refer here like how Wi-Fi is important for us today. So Lachman continues that Maslow really was groundbreaking in his thinking. He was saying that you weren't acting on the basis of these uncontrollable unconscious desires. Your behavior was not just influenced by external rewards and reinforcement, but there were these internal needs and motivations. And unlike the psychoanalysts and behaviorists who preceded him, Maslow was not that interested in mental illness. Instead of finding out what went wrong with people, he always wanted to find out what would go right with them. This opened the door for later movements such as humanistic psychology and positive psychology, and the so-called happiness agenda that preoccupies the current thinking of many states, in particular those where mental issues are really very high. Maslow's friend, management guru Warren Bennis, believed the quality underlying all Maslow's thinking was his striking optimism about human nature and society in general. And as he said, Ab Maslow, a Jewish kid who really grew up poor, represented the American dream. All of his psychology really had to do with possibility, not restraints. His metaphysics were all about the possibilities of change, the possibilities of the human being to really fit into the demographic mold. Thank you very much. Hope you found it useful. And once again, as I said, a lot of this is drawn from the BBC article that I put the link down below. And if you wanted to explore more details, you could look there. Or actually, the best thing to do would be simply to look at the theory of human motivation at the original writing, so you can get a real and not distorted view. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you like the content. If you do, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, and help me improve my work. Thank you.